Still here, stories from the dark. This is a sacred space for the silent, the survivors, and the still struggling. A place where stories remind us the dark is not the end, and every breath you take is proof that you're still in the story. I'm Sylvester Mugabi, and today's episode is called The Pause. For Elijah, he didn't write a note, didn't say goodbye, didn't plan a grand exit. He just opened a drawer and sat with the decision. It wasn't that he wanted to die. He just didn't know how to keep living with the weight. But just before the edge, a vibration, a message. Hey, you okay? And that message didn't fix everything, but it paused the darkness, long enough to breathe, long enough to choose tomorrow. There's a space, just seconds wide, between the thought and the action. And in that space, something sacred happens. It's called the pause. It doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's tear-soaked. Sometimes it's angry. Sometimes it's just still. But in that stillness, a door cracks open. The drawer closes. The razor goes back. The phone rings. And hope, just a flicker, finds its way back in. For David, it was a bit different. He said, I'd made up my mind. But as I sat in my car, crying with the engine running, my niece's drawing slipped out of the dashboard. It was me and her holding hands. She'd written, Uncle David, I love you to infinity. And I paused, just sat there, staring at that drawing for an hour. That pause saved me. David got help. And now he visits high schools telling teens, if you're thinking about ending it, give life one more minute, then another, then another. For Maria, her son Emilio has autism. She said, there were nights I held him for hours while he screamed, days I went without sleep. One day I found myself at the kitchen sink, washing the same spoon for 15 minutes, crying. I thought, I can't do this. I'm not enough for him. And in that moment, I almost walked out the door. But then Emilio walked in. And for the first time in his life, he touched my face. No words, just a look that said, stay. And I paused. I stayed. And I've been staying ever since. Maria now leads a parent support group for mothers of special needs children. She says, the pause gave me back my purpose. James, a veteran, he said, I couldn't sleep. Fireworks made me drop to the ground. And nobody understood what I saw when I closed my eyes. One night, I drove out to the river with a bottle and a goodbye note. But my service dog, Ace, barked. Just barked and barked like his life depended on it. And I paused. I cried. And I called my brother. James is in therapy now and helps other veterans reclaim their stories. He says, the pause didn't erase my past, but it gave me back my future. Maybe right now you're tired. You're overwhelmed. You're not even sure why you hit play. But you're here. And this is your reminder. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't even have to feel better today. Just pause. Put the phone down. Drink some water. Cry. Text someone. But don't make a permanent decision in a temporary storm. Pause. Breathe. Stay. You are still here. And that is a miracle. A listener named Linda wrote, I sent episode 1 to my younger brother. He didn't respond. But the next day he called and said, I'm still here. Thanks for not giving up on me. Linda, that message became his pause. Thank you. This week, I challenge you to create a pause for someone else. A check-in, a smile, a hey, I see you, or maybe just a moment of presence. You may never know, but your words might be the hinge that saves a life. And if this episode is your pause, I'm honored. You're still here, and that's enough for today. If you or someone you love is struggling, please don't wait. Or call 988 US Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You are not broken. You are not alone. And there is help, always. This has been Still Here, Stories from the Dark. I'm Sylvester Mugabi. And I'm so glad you paused with me today. Next time, join me for episode 3, Memory Light, where remembering who we once were becomes the path to who we can still become. Until then, pause, breathe, stay. You matter.